welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned my name because I had what I'm going to say is a ultra first world problem to do with my name the other day.
Oh, okay.
In fact, calling me Michael Campbell might have even solved it. But we recently had a by-election, like a state by-election.
Yeah.
I went down to the local voting thing. And here's the thing. My name's very common, right? Michael, one of the most common names in the world. Campbell, even more so, or equally more so, I'd say, you know?
Yeah.
So they when you go in, they say last name. And I said Campbell. And the guy types it and he goes, Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
Michael, blood type.
But then he went, okay, suburb. So I told him my suburb, and he typed that in. He goes, there's still 6. What's your first name? And I said, Michael. He goes, okay. Right, there's still 2.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I have never had that issue ever in my life.
Well, the good news is, if I ever witness a crime and I go into witness protection and I say, what do you want me to change my name to? They'll be like, don't worry.
Yeah,
don't bother.
It's fine.
He won't find you.
They will have to kill so many Michael Campbells just to maybe get to you.
Yeah.
It's worth the risk.
Even if they find the town you live in, it's a 50-50.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'd take those odds.
Yeah.
Camber, I had a very upsetting day on the weekend that I sort of don't want to tell anyone, but I'm also so outraged and annoyed that I want to tell everyone.
Okay.
So this couple of weeks, don't know. It's the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival.
It is also simultaneously the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival, the Grand Prix, the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. There's like a million things happening in Melbourne right now.
I mean, I think it's smart to hold the food festival at the same time as other festivals because you're like, people are coming in anyway.
Yeah. Do you know how many people are coming to Melbourne this weekend? And that's for the food festival? Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? But anyway, they had in Fed Square, in the center of the city, they had a few pop-up little like tents of different locations selling little bits of their food, samples and such. And there was one place that was doing a sausage sizzle.
Okay.
So I would say arguably...
So far, great news. Love a sausage sizzle.
Yeah, I'd say arguably sausage sizzle is probably like... Australia doesn't really have like Australian cuisine. But this is as close as we come to that being like the Aussie food. It's like a meat pie, it's a sausage roll, it's a sausage and bread, it's a sausage sizzle.
Oftentimes for those that haven't experienced this, maybe haven't traveled to Australia, in the cheapest white bread you could imagine.
Yeah.
And often eaten outside of a Bunnings warehouse.
Yeah, that's right. Well, what happened was actually funny thing. Okay, so these were let me just continue. Okay. These were meant to be like gourmet type sausages, and they were like chunkier than your regular, just like thin sausage, whatever.
More similar to like a Kransky style sausage.
Yeah, more similar to Kransky, but even then, not like it was just like bigger, thicker, and stuffed with like maybe rosemary and thyme, and as well as like the meat or something.
Sure.
And then on top of that were like some interesting garnishes. So there was like a red cabbage, Indian-inspired garnish on top of one of them, and a few others. And we went up, and first of all, we got there at like 12:30. It started that weekend, that morning, and almost everybody was sold out. The sausage sizzle place, they had 10 sausages. We could only choose from 3 because everything else was sold out. I feel like that's poor planning. If you're like, the Food and Wine Festival's on, Do you reckon we should order lots of food in case people come to eat the food? No, we'll just order a moderate amount. Anyway, that's number one that I'm angry at already. I'm angry at it, and I haven't even eaten any food yet. And then we get to the front of the line and order 2 of the different sausages.
Yep.
And it comes to $28.
Whoa!
It's
okay.
$14 per sausage in bread.
I can tell you.
And here's the crazy thing, right? You said before, Bunnings sausage.
Yeah.
You got to put it in the worst white bread ever. That's like almost the tradition.
Yeah.
This was on that same type of bread. I was like, at the very least, get some nice fancy bread to go with it. But no, paid $14 per sausage.
To put it in perspective for those who aren't as familiar with the pricing of a sausage sizzle, a few years ago, I remember people being quite angry that Bunnings Warehouse, who do a lot of local community sausage sizzles outside, they raised the price of a sausage to $3. They were always $2.50, and people were like, $3, it's a bridge too far. What have you done?
It's $3.50 now, Cambo. I just went on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
And go on from Bunnings. It's gone up another 50 cents.
I'm furious enough at $3.50. $14.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was so annoyed. And the thing is, they've got the price of the sausage, but it's in very small font at the front of the line. We waited probably 5 to 10 minutes anyway in this line. And you get to the front and there's a little a little sign there that has all the different flavors that you can get. And then a small price that says $14. Nowhere else on the much larger size, signage outside did it have the price. Some people behind us went up and they were like, "Oh, $14. Nah, no, thank you." And yes, technically, I could have done the same.
Yeah,
but it was about the principle, Campo.
Genuinely, you've ruined my day. You've ruined my day with that story.
I've ruined my life, Campo. Anyway, let's get into it. This first Reddit on Reddit was in the subreddit Am I the Arsehole? And it was by Prestigious P608. Am I the asshole because I bought a bottle of ranch into a restaurant? Have you read this yet, by the way?
No.
Or did you? Okay, cool. Just off the title alone, what are you thinking?
So far, no. Only because my dad is diabetic. He sometimes has to bring his own soft drink or soda to a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So my immediate thought is there could be a reason they need to do this.
Okay, all right, cool. Can I tell you also, this is a little bit of a spoilers, but what I thought before I read the rest of it was it's probably in their possession already. They've gone into the restaurant with this item.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. Yes, I will confirm I'm also very much thinking that.
Yeah, okay, cool. Last night I went to Last night I went to dinner with Michael. Which Michael?
Obviously Campbell. Statistically speaking, it's probably Michael Campbell.
Campbell, I don't know these people's ages. For some reason, I know this guy's name, which is so rare. But
can I say,
I don't know their ages.
Not knowing their sex and age is absolute bliss for me right now. I'm loving this.
Okay, it was our third date, and he took me to one of his favorite restaurants. It was a hole-in-the-wall Polish/Hungarian place. We ordered our food, and he ordered a sampler plate so I could try different things. There's very few things I don't eat with ranch. I just like it and helps make some things easier to eat, so I always have it with my meals.
Okay.
When we got our food, I asked for some ranch. The waiter said they didn't have any and offered to bring out some kind of sour cream and dill sauces.
Oh, those bastards.
I tried them and they just weren't the same. I told Michael I'd be right back.
Okay.
Took my wallet and left the restaurant. I had seen a convenience store close by when arriving, so I went, bought a bottle of ranch, and came back. Michael looked shocked, but didn't say anything, and ate his food. The food was great, and we got some conversation going when the waiter came. When the waiter came over and said, "God, this is written poorly. Sorry," and said outside food wasn't allowed. I said, Dressing isn't outside food, and they didn't have what I needed to enjoy my meal. I didn't want to ruin the evening, so I took it out to my car and returned. When we finished and left, Michael thanked me for coming out with him, but said it was really off-putting that I had to leave and go buy a bottle of dressing instead of just going one meal without it. I told him I wouldn't have had to do that if they had ranch or any dressings like a normal restaurant. He didn't walk me to my car or anything and just left. I went home and told my roommate about my date and his attitude, and she asked me if I was being serious. She thinks I had bad etiquette and embarrassed Michael to the point he was probably going to stop talking to me. I don't think what I did was really all that bad. It was a condiment, not an entire meal from someplace. Was I wrong for what I did?
Okay. Look. There's layers to this, I would say. I would say Am I the Arsehole is normally more cut and dry, but I do have some sympathy for this person.
Yeah.
Probably because it reminds me like when I go out with Stacey, I'm like a Neanderthal. Like I'm compared to her, who has she has very good taste in food. Like she's a foodie. She knows good food. To me, I don't care what I eat. Like I'll eat anything. I don't care. I'll eat something really.
I would like to argue that point that you do care what you eat more than.
Oh yeah, but sorry. What I mean by that is like I'll eat at a really fancy restaurant and go, yeah, that was really good. But I also eat like the shittiest pub meal and go, yeah, that was really good too. Like the fanciness of food. Yes, but I am certainly a pickier eater than her. Mm-hmm. So I have sympathy in that, like, this person probably wasn't appreciating the fanciness of the restaurant. I can sympathize with that bit of it. I question how long they were gone to get the ranch.
Yeah, I think that's funny. Yeah. I would love to know the time that it took to get this ranch sauce, because even 5 minutes is pushing it.
Yeah, unless there was like a 7-Eleven next door.
Yeah.
And exactly. no one else was in it, so there wasn't a line at the counter. Then I would say, and maybe this is good because we've done food service before in the past, I would have maybe ordered like just an empty ramekin, like to have on the side, put a little bit of ranch in the ramekin, and then hid the bottle. I am picturing that the bottle must have been on the table.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it was, which is funny. It does seem weird. I can't ever imagine bringing in my own bottle of sauce.
No.
And then just leaving it. I mean, just doing that in the first place, really. But then leaving it on the table. Because I get the idea that, like, well, you can't have any outside food. And even that, I would actually almost say this is like on par. She's saying, oh, it's not really outside food. Well, like, yeah, it is. But, she's saying, oh, well, it's not like KFC or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but the problem is that there is this thing, and again, I think we have this experience from like probably working in customer service too. It's like sometimes you might have one customer see that customer with a bottle of ranch dressing, and then they're like, well, I want that too. And then you have to explain, oh, sorry, we don't actually have it. That weirdo bought in their own.
Yeah.
But even then, it's just like an annoying inconvenience and like, just don't have anything there that's not available to everybody else kind of thing.
But where I think I'm landing with this is I wouldn't go as far as to call them an arsehole, but I will say, pull your head in, mate.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the thing. Okay, you're not really an arsehole.
Yeah. What you did was relatively harmless, maybe a bit rude to leave your date at the table.
Yeah.
But like you weren't mean-spirited.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I think you have to accept the consequences that people think you're really weird.
Yeah.
Because I would never do that again. And that guy, I think, is well within his rights just to never go on another date with you again, because that's weird. And I would be so embarrassed if I was that guy too, just to be like, I can't believe. For one, that's like red flag to me, to be like, you can't. To me, that's, I don't know. It brings up like so many potential red flags. No necessarily individual one, but one is like, okay, you're a super picky eater. You don't care about maybe other people or like, an establishment's kind of rules or whatnot. Like you don't quite get social etiquette, I would say. Like there's just all these like really, red flags that are sort of starting to pop up. Mm-hmm. And I think that's enough for me to be like, no, this is not worth it. I would hate to. Could you imagine? Because I imagine that person, this restaurant might not have been the fanciest. It was just a Polish/Hungarian place. But I imagine this person would go to like a 5-star Michelin rated restaurant and still bring in the ranch. And I'd be like, nope, can't do that. Can't be seen with you in this situation.
Also, again, like thinking back to our food service days, it would need to be so obvious that she was using it for me to go up and go, you need to stop. If I saw someone squirt a little bit of ranch into a bowl and put it away and were dipping their whatever, like bread into it or something, you'd go, it's a bit weird, but to have to come over and go, ma'am, you can't be having that. Then I'm imagining like very public aggressive ranch use. Yeah,
there is ranch on the walls is what I'm picturing.
Or like just like squirting it in the middle of the restaurant going, I love this ranch. This ranch is making the food better.
Is it normal for people to love a substance so much that they put it on everything?
Yeah,
I mean, excluding meth. Because
I was going to say, you speak like a man that's never had cocaine.
Yeah. I'll sprinkle all the illegal drugs on everything I'm eating, but that's hardly noticeable. But even if it was just tomato sauce or something, ketchup rather, I'd be like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think people go through that phase, but generally they grow out of it. My brother went through a tomato sauce ketchup on everything phase when he was like 15.
Oh yeah,
but it was like it was late. It's certainly late to be going through that phase.
Old, yeah.
No, that's why it's weird. If I said 5, you'd be like, every 5-year-old goes through that.
Yeah,
but he was about 15, and some like sauce on everything. But after a year or two, he stopped, and now he's normal. I mean, he's not normal. You know him. He's not normal.
Yeah, he's not normal. In the traditional sense.
No.
Okay, but let's move on to Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit was by Comment Stalker 84. You just arrived in hell. There is only one TV. What show is it permanently stuck on?
I had to give blood recently. I didn't have to, actually. I chose to. No one forced me to give blood.
I like that somebody was like, it. Not just that you were forced to, but it was the person that needed it.
Yeah.
That was like, I'm really low on blood right now.
Yeah.
I'll stab you. I'll get it one way or another.
But I thought this was unfair. Multiple TVs on in the place that you could, I guess, casually watch as you're donating blood. I'd say 4 of them that I could see. Mm-hmm. They all had The Big Bang Theory on.
Oh, and that's annoying.
Look, I don't love that show, but it's not but give me an option, Like have that on one, have sports on another, give me variety. No matter where I looked, I had to watch The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, that's rubbish. What time did you go? Was that later in the day then or something?
It was 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah. See, I was going to say I normally go on the weekend at like the morning, like 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And they normally have the morning shows on, which I feel like is the most inoffensive thing. Because the worst part about the morning shows is the cadence in the voices of the hosts.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily their content.
That's true.
Sometimes it can be
But on the
bad.
TV they're on mute with captions, so you're not getting the cadence.
Yeah, exactly.
You do still have to look at Carl Stefanovic, and that's a 50-50 for most people in this country.
That is something that I was willing to put up with.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So would it be The Big Bang Theory then? If you're in hell? Is that the show?
Look, The Big Bang Theory is like it's tacky or whatever, but it's not the worst show.
Yeah,
it would have to be. It could be. There used to be a show on Comedy Central in America, some kind of cable channel here in Australia. I forget which one. Called The Man Show. Is where Jimmy Kimmel got his start.
Okay.
It hasn't aged well, Nelson. It ended every episode with, it was Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel. Every episode ended with girls jumping on trampolines.
Okay.
It was just, it was just like super
just a bit like cringe-inducing.
It's every worst cliche of like someone that wants a man cave. And they're like, I'm going to have a man cave. It's going to have a neon sign of my favorite beer brand and pictures of babes on the wall. It's that in TV form.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty
And you would think
terrible.
that I might be into it because, girls jumping on trampolines and stuff. But I find it so hard to watch.
Yeah.
Not even just the show, but just that was socially acceptable to be on TV. That part of my brain would also be like, we've done well. We've done well to come from here.
Yeah. But then what you'd notice is Jimmy Kimmel's right there next to you in hell.
Yeah,
he's like,
true.
It's because this was my idea. But yeah, I think hard to watch shows is difficult to say because I don't watch the hard to watch shows.
Yeah, it's true.
But this is my fear is there'd be one of two scenarios, I think, or two shows rather, or maybe an interchange of both. Is first, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there could be two iterations of this. One is it's just the entire Buffy from season 1 to 8.
Yeah,
repeats. It's on loop, right?
Yeah,
and I'd be like, oh, I love this show, but if I'm going to watch it for eternity, I might end up hating it, and then that will destroy a little bit of me on the inside. But the other alternative is it is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but just season 1 on repeat, which is you only watch season 1 because you know you're going to watch seasons 2 to 8, and the first season is hard to get through. I feel like there's definitely some there's definitely like teenage drama-y, cheesy, corny, like haven't quite nailed down exactly what this show is just yet, and it's really painful.
Can I make it more hell appropriate? Let's say it's season 1 of Buffy on repeat, but also it's 1 second out of sync.
Oh, out of sync stuff is the worst.
I know. Especially when it's just out and you're like, it's almost there.
So close. Don't you reckon literally everybody in the world that's experienced this has for the first, I reckon, 3 minutes been like, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
I can deal with this. And then the 3 minutes is up and you're like, nope, we're not watching anymore. I'm turning it off.
And I hate the show now.
I hate the show. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
We had a weird experience.
The other one, actually, sorry, just while I'm thinking about it, is on the same wavelength as like things that I like to then ruin my feeling of them, would actually just be Firefly. Mm-hmm. Firefly. Wait, I'm getting confused between the movie.
You're thinking of the movie Serenity.
And Serenity, yeah. Anyway, because even if I didn't get sick of that show, it's still just so painful every time I watch it to be like, look, just ends here. Just ends on a nothing episode.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to make it worse for you again, Nelson.
Oh, no.
Firefly on loop, but it's at 240p resolution. Because again, I know people used to be used to it, but when you get a YouTube video that doesn't go beyond it, you're like, I can watch it.
Yeah.
And then 30 seconds in, you're like, I'm not going to watch this.
Like, this is fine. And then the fix it. Like, I would rather watch a video start and stop than just 240p the whole time, I think. Because, sometimes you do that. You've got bad internet connection or whatever. Yeah. For some reason, it's not loading properly. And it's on the auto quality, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd be like, nah, at least 720.
Yeah.
And, just buffer for a bit. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll wait
through this buffering than just the worst quality ever.
The video plays for a minute, starts to buffer. Take a break. Take a little break. Do something. Come back.
Yeah,
because you're watching it in good quality. We had one recently. Just a random episode of That 70s Show that we were watching. No laugh track.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's odd.
Uncomfortable. Like, it's just like a weird glitch in the file or something. I don't know. All the rest of it had laugh tracks, and the ones after it had laugh tracks. Just this weird one with it had a laugh track that was so minimal that it's almost just like, I guess, the people that were on the set It sounded
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 people laughing every time. Very
that's
uncomfortable.
interesting.
I did not enjoy that experience.
Yeah. And that 70s show is only funny with the laugh track.
You really realize how unfunny it is when the laugh track is gone.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
am I just a monkey that's laughing because other people are laughing? I guess I am.
I hope that the person who one day decided, hey, let's have a laugh track / live audience, I guess probably started with live audience.
Yeah.
Well, there would have been a point, right, where they're like, okay, we don't need live audiences anymore. What are we missing? Because this show is terrible. And they were like, oh, let's add a laugh track. And then Seinfeld was born or something like that. But yeah, I think that whoever came up with that decision is a genius because it just adds so much.
I think it was Reginald's laugh track.
Oh,
I've just looked it up here.
No, that's yeah, but you binged it. So.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, Kevin, let's move on into Today I Advise. So now it's time for Today I Learned. What's the intro to that? Today I Learned. And also sometimes advice. This Today I Learned was by Good Samaritan. Today I learned in 2019, a Brazilian drug trafficker serving a 73-year sentence tried to escape from prison by disguising himself as his teenage daughter who was visiting. His plan was to leave her behind in his place, but his nervousness as he approached the exit tipped off the guards. He hung himself 3 days later.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Wow. That's a good turn.
I forgot that it ended that way.
Yeah.
I could have left that bit out.
It was so wacky until the end.
Yeah.
I don't want to come down to the person that posted this because, historical context is important or whatever. Leave that last sentence off.
Leave it out.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We get the point.
It. People could investigate more if they wanted to. In fact, today I learned I think you're meant to link the source. So, people could figure it out.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, well, let's break down the beginning of that. Trying to,
first of all,
leave your teenage daughter in a prison, assuming... So did it say it was a man?
Yes. Well, no, it didn't say.
Okay.
Actually. Oh no, it said disguising himself.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
So he's leaving his teenage daughter in a men's prison. Terrible to start with. Leaving in prison, bad enough, but a men's prison, your teenage daughter?
No.
But
might put some hairs on her chest, Can be. Think about the upside.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and as long as she punched the biggest guy in the yard, no one would mess with her.
Exactly. This is like that Johnny Cash song called A Boy Named Sue.
Yeah.
It's just about a father trying to toughen up his daughter because he knew that he wasn't going to be there for her because he escaped prison. Obviously.
He'd obviously be free and should be in the prison.
Can I just point out first, I think it's important to note this happened in 2019.
Yeah.
It sounds like a story that happened in like the 60s or something. You're like, everybody was high back then anyway. So it kind of makes sense.
It does. It sounds like, how there's the story of John Dillinger escaped prison with a bar of soap.
Yeah.
And you're like, how did anyone fall for that? You painted it black and pretended it was a gun and everyone fell for it. And you're like, what was the 60s like? Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he was before the 60s, but... 2019. That's too current.
I just can't work out the way in which, what is she dressed up like, and what is he dressed up like? Did they swap?
Yeah, let's play a game of swap clothes.
They must have swapped clothes.
Are they the same size?
I'm assuming it's not the. Yeah, maybe.
Come in, wear something baggy.
Yeah, I guess so. But then really baggy, because if you walk in and it's baggy and then you leave and it's tight, that's also going to be a giveaway.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Wear your biggest high heels, really get your height up a bit. So here's what I think. This person has claimed it didn't work because I got too nervous and that's what gave me away.
Yeah,
I think that's how they've justified it in their own mind.
Oh, okay.
I think the guards are like, what is this man doing?
Yeah. You should see the security cameras.
Yeah.
You look ridiculous.
Yeah.
There is no way anybody was falling for this. And you just thought, I got a bit nervous. Well, that's probably just what he told his daughter.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, I got caught. Yeah, sorry, darling. I got nervous because I didn't want to leave you in here. Yeah, I think that's going to be what happens. Otherwise, I actually think it's actually a pretty good plan. Almost, right? Because, okay.
I'm going to disagree, but I'll hear you out.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say, because the daughter couldn't be kept in the prison.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. They'd have to let her go.
So he would like escape. Let's say she gives it like 24 hours. Somehow.
Yeah.
I still think at some point she would be found out within 24 hours.
Let's say best case scenario, she goes, I know, I have worked out what he's doing. I'll give him a shot and I'll allow him 24 hours.
Well, I'm thinking that she was in on this the whole time, just by the way, because I think he must have like convinced her, right? Because that's how they would have swapped clothes, surely.
Yeah.
And like, I think she must have been in on it and be like, I'll help you escape, Pa. But then but that's why it's kind of genius, because let's say he gets like, I don't know, 4 hours of a head start, realistically.
Yeah.
Before somebody in the jail is like, hey, there's a girl in here. She can't really be felt guilty with it. She might be done for like aiding and abetting, but that's like a whole other process of like, she then needs to get arrested and then trialed and yada yada, and her sentence isn't going to be the same length as her father's if she does end up getting put in prison.
Yeah.
So like, to me, there's this, I really feel like he could get away with it. It's kind of a smart way to do it.
We also,
it's just that you're also putting your daughter in a men's prison, like you said.
Yeah. We also don't know the length of the sentence he was serving, right? What if he was only in there for 90 days and he's like, I can't do this. You got to come in here. You got to come in here and get me out.
No, sorry, it does.
Oh, it does?
73 years.
Okay.
He was, well, that's what his total sentence was for.
Okay.
Don't know how long he was in there before he decided to.
Yeah. A week.
Trade with his daughter.
I'm curious as to how it worked, because I would assume that when you're visiting someone in prison, they don't leave you totally alone, really, to do things this.
I guess. Except for like what,
conjugal visits. Yeah, but
and then that's weird.
Yeah. Because if he's like, I need a conjugal visit with my daughter, but don't worry, it's not what you think, then they're like, well, then it's definitely an escape.
Yeah, well, then you're trying to escape. And he's like, and then it is what you think. And you're like, that's gross.
That's another,
not allowing that.
That's another 10 years on your sentence. Oh, damn it.
I suppose that he didn't need to let them know that she was his daughter, maybe.
That's true.
Potentially. So it could just been a woman.
Yeah.
A young teenage woman going for a conjugal visit. Anyway, it's very weird.
Yeah, if she was under 18, though, that's even more time to his sentence. Again, how's he doing this without adding time to his sentence? The answer is he can't.
Well, if the escape went flawlessly, then it'd be fine. Anywho, let's move on, I suppose.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought was cross-posted to us by Gone Emotionally, but it was originally by iKing RPG. Probably iKing RPG. 98% of the things we see or read about on the news actually doesn't matter for our daily lives.
I would say probably more than that.
Yeah, you reckon it's more than the 98%? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm struggling to think of news things that do directly affect my everyday life. I mean, maybe in the large scheme, like, there's an election coming up or something like that. You're like, oh yeah, I have to go vote in that, and I guess it would, whatever. But what does this person think the news is?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there is this idea that news is. Well, I think that's the thing. Maybe is like we put more emphasis on the news than maybe we need to, in some cases, and it's hard to know what is relevant to you, perhaps, what's going to affect your life, and what won't. Like Trump's indictment. Mm-hmm. That seems pretty interesting and important and historic. Will it affect my life eventually? I don't know. Maybe. It's kind of funny.
Only if you get the call, and this is very unlikely, and they go, Nelson, you got to be the guy. You got to go. You got to go put the cuffs on. You're like, this is. Yeah. I don't know how this has come about, but geez, I wasn't ready for this to affect my life in such a direct way.
Sorry. Was there a lottery between all citizens of the world?
Yeah.
And they were like, yes, but the first name we drew out was Michael Campbell. And like,
we didn't know which one it was.
Pinning that down.
And
impossible.
Then, to be honest, the second one was Donald Trump, and we thought that wasn't going to
work. We just thought that he might not follow through with it. So.
And look, it could have been a second Donald Trump. We didn't want to take the risk. We checked. You're the only Nelson Allingham. It's you.
Yeah. Yeah. But, so I don't know. It is funny. Because I think it's funny, actually, when I have this experience where people will be talking about something that's happening in the news, and I haven't been following it at all. And I try not to let that on until it maybe comes out that I haven't. And then I'm like, should I feel guilty about this? Should I feel guilty about this thing that, like, I know doesn't affect me, definitely? Like, how actually important is news? You know?
Here's my philosophy.
You know what we need? AI to let us know if the news will affect your life or not. You only get stuff that gets sent to you.
Yeah.
But then that would be weird if it's like the AI is trained so well. It is 100% accurate. And then you get an article about like some endangered turtle species. And you're like, this is wild. I have no idea where this is going.
Oh, boy.
But the AI has never been wrong.
It would also be wild in the sense that if this was a thing for the last couple of years, I am what is sometimes referred to as a novid, which means I've never had COVID in all these years, still haven't had it. So I would be like, someone would be like, oh, I finally got COVID. I'm like, what's that? You know COVID? No, what's COVID?
Hasn't been on my newsfeed.
Here's my philosophy, Nelson, and it's a good one, and I'm sure people will agree with me. If the news will affect me, it'll find me.
That's a good philosophy.
Somehow I'll be made aware of this news.
Yeah, exactly.
It always seems to. I never seek out news, but I find the stuff that affects me.
It's a good philosophy. I like it. I think we should stick with that. Do you know what I like as well, actually? So this just reminded me of like a story I heard ages ago where news was mainly delivered by radio.
Yeah.
And the BBC one day they had a news channel, news station, and the start of the day, they just said, there is no news to report for today.
Yeah.
And then they just played classical music for the rest of the day. I was like, that is brilliant. And exactly what I feel like sometimes needs to happen. There is so much nonsense. I have like the ABC News app just because I'm like, I kind of like that news.
Yeah. So we should
source.
point out the ABC in Australia is the government-funded channel, not the commercial network from America.
Yeah.
It's like the boring government news.
Yeah. And I would say slightly less bias. Not no bias. It's important
because they are being funded by a government.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, and I just like scroll through and I'm like, do you know what was on this? So you'd think, government funded news site, like it's got to have some pretty hard hitting news. And like 3 articles down, it was about Gwyneth Paltrow's
ski
court case, which I read in its entirety, Cameron, because it was really interesting.
I love that that's the one that you picked up on. War in Ukraine, whatever. Gwyneth Paltrow's ski accident.
I know.
$1 settlement, you say?
It was a sobering moment where I'm like, why do I need this crap on my feed? Oh, but I am interested to know.
Do you want to hear a story about the biggest non-bit of news I saw recently? This will be about a week ago now. I am subscribed on Instagram to IGN, the website. And, of course, they do gaming and movie and TV news and whatever.
Yep.
I saw a news article that made me think, I think I might have to unsubscribe because this is nothing.
Yeah.
It was a news headline with a big picture. It says, in the new television series Secret Invasion, Nick Fury won't wear an eye patch. I was like, what? Okay. I could have waited to find that out when and if I watched.
Very important information.
And it was next to other news that was proper news.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Okay.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes stuff just doesn't need to be published.
No.
Okay.
No.
Everybody needs a big wake up call. All right.
The biggest version of a shock that would have been is if I watch that show and like 4 episodes in, I'll go, he hasn't worn an eye patch yet. That's it. Yeah. That's and now that surprise is even gone.
It's gone. It's gone. And you've ruined it for all of our listeners and me.
Yep.
Thanks,
Yep.
Camber. All right, Camber, we should move on into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves. This week's my week, and I definitely didn't get this suggestion from Stacey. I know that's a weird thing to say at the start of the show.
Can
I'm just saying.
Can I come clean with you?
Yep.
She told me, and I hate to contradict you. She told me, she said, the other night I gave Nelson a podnapping. And I was like, you what? What? No, you give me. What are you doing? This is like cheating on me. I feel like you've been unfaithful. You give me podnapping. But she had said, and I don't think this gives it away, but I'm going to make a guess. She goes, no, see, this podnapping I don't think would work the other way.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
I'm going to assume this is movie-based.
It's because it is. It's because she knows you so well that it's easier for her to come up with ideas for you, little like fun movie trivia things, than it is for me.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, Stacey and I have separated since.
Yeah, obviously. That's right. I'd do the same, Camber. Yeah. I'd do the same.
What would you do if Alan gave me a podnapping?
I'd burn down the house. Okay, so this game, I was just going to start doing it, and you would have had no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
This game is, I have 10, I think, movies. There's some from the 80s, some from the 90s, some from the noughties, some from the teenies?
Yep.
Tensies?
The tensies,
anyway, yeah. The tensies. And what I'm going to do is, I've searched these on Google.
Mm-hmm.
And if you click on cast on Google, it comes up with the top 8 people in that movie.
Yep.
I'm going to start from the 8th person.
Okay.
Tell you that actor's name.
Okay.
And you have to guess what the movie is. And if you can't guess it after the first one, then I'll give you the 7th and 6th and 5th until you get to the main actor.
Question, do you also give me the year of the movie?
No. I think that's part of it. Because originally I was going to do them in order.
Yeah.
In year order.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I think that I should make it harder for you.
I'll be very impressed if I get it by the 8th on any of them without a year. Because you're like, Christopher Walken. I'm like, God, he's had a long career and he's in a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Some of the people that I'm sure are just like extras that they're like, it was the most famous extra because maybe it was a movie with like very few leading roles. And so they've just got a random person. Anyway, good luck with those ones.
Okay.
Okay, the first one. First actor, Robert Wool.
Okay.
WHL.
Yep.
Have you got it?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Charles Roskilly.
Okay.
Do you even know who that is? Do you know who either of those people are? Okay,
no.
good.
And I know a fair few actors. So
yeah, you know a lot. Yeah, you know a lot. Michael Gough.
Yeah, I know Michael Gough. Yeah.
Okay. Phew. We've got one. Okay.
Oh, this is that one movie Michael Gough was in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no guesses so far?
No.
Billy D. Williams.
Okay, this is more of a clue. Is it a Star Wars movie?
No.
Oh, wait, Michael Goff. No, this is Batman.
It is Batman.
Yeah.
Well done, Cambo.
Mike
Tim Burton.
Yes,
film.
Michael Goff is Alfred, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
Alfred. Yes. This okay. I'm actually confused. I did read them in order, just but the Charles Roskilly one underneath it says like who they played.
Yeah.
And his is Batman, but then also it has Michael Keaton as
Yeah,
Batman.
yeah. So he's
He would have been the younger self in the opera scene. That's what it
Oh,
would have been,
yeah.
I reckon.
But wouldn't that be Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, you'd think that'd be Bruce Wayne.
But I
this
was
guy
thinking-
looks way younger by his picture,
Okay,
so
right,
I'm
yeah.
guessing he was a kid at the time.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, okay, next one. Okay, Adrian Brody.
Okay. Yep. I know Adrian Brody.
I'll say, you know what? I'll say this: you can take one guess per actor. Otherwise, I have to go to the one before.
Wait, what?
If you have one guess per actor that I reveal to you,
Yeah.
and if you don't get in that one guess, then I'm going to read out the next celebrity.
Okay.
The
yeah.
next actor,
Yeah.
rather.
Adrian Brody, but further down a cast list. The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh my fucking god! I can't believe this. Yeah. Okay. Do you know? I thought this might be a fun game for the listeners at home, but I very much doubt that anybody after that one person guessed the Grand Budapest Hotel. Well, you've ruined another podnapping. Good work.
That's what I do.
Okay.
I'm chuffed on that, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. Barry Pepper.
Okay. Barry Pepper, The Green Mile.
You've got it again. I should have gone for far more obscure. But again, I was like, I want the listener to be able to play along as well. So I don't want it to be too crazy.
To be clear, Barry Pepper is one of those actors that is in so many movies that you don't realize. And
Yeah.
he would be about eighth on most of those casts.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah.
Green Mile was a real shot in the dark.
Okay. Next one. Aviva Bowman.
Okay. Yep. I'm not sure.
Martha McIsaac.
Yep. No, still no idea.
Bill Hader.
Okay. Bill Hader. It's the sixth cast member. Oh, okay. Okay. Bill
I feel like Bill Hader could also be the sixth cast member in a few things.
That's it. Bill Hader is such a bit part player in so many big comedy movies.
Yes, but think of Aviva and Martha. What
I'm
else has
gonna
he been in movies
say
with them with?
Pineapple Express.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Your next one, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone and Bill Hader. This is the end.
No.
Oh no, I was thinking of Emma Watson. Ah, damn it.
Oh well, you've wasted a guess.
I know.
Okay. Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Okay.
Have you seen his last
this
name?
is super bad.
Plasse?
This is super bad.
This is super bad. Correct.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. I didn't have sound effects. Good job. But that one took you out. He was the fourth on the list there, Ken.
Yeah, that's right. I was getting dangerously close to the top. I don't like it.
Close. Okay. John C. McGinley.
John C. Platoon? No,
No.
he's too far up the cast list. He'd be like third on Platoon. Office. No, I can't guess Office Space yet.
Well, oh god, I'm going to pronounce this name wrong. Bose Christopher? Bojesse.
Is it Office Space?
Bose? No.
Not Office Space. Okay.
Anthony Kiedis.
Okay, Anthony Kiedis. Is it Point Break?
It is Point Break.
Yeah. I just can't think
I
of.
thought you meant get it on Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah, I can't think of many other films that Anthony Kiedis is in. I don't remember John C. McGinley in that movie, but it's been a while.
Don't remember. He played Ben Harp, if that helps.
Oh, Ben Harp. Yes, that John C. McGinley type.
That's Dr. Cox, by the way, for anybody who's wondering.
Yes, from
Because I don't
Scrubs,
know
yes.
any of actors' names. And I was like, oh, that's
Yes,
Dr. Cox.
yeah, played Dr. Cox on Scrubs.
Okay. I think this might be a hard one. Yeah,
Okay.
I think this is a hard one. I was
Okay.
going to make it, I don't know. I mixed the order around and I think I was going to have this one a bit later. Anyway. Sarah Lane.
Okay, yep. I'm not sure.
Sebastian Stan.
Okay, I know Sebastian Stan. That
Okay.
far down a cast list, Sebastian Stan.
See, I don't know who the F that is.
He plays the Winter Soldier in the Marvel movies.
Oh, okay.
Sebastian Stan. No, I'm going to need another clue.
Okay. Benjamin Millipede. Millipede. It looks like Millipede. Millepede. Millipede. I'm going to say it.
No, I'm still not sure.
Barbara Hershey.
I think it might just be Hirsch.
Oh, yep. Could be. Sure.
No, I still don't know. Yeah.
This one might help. Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder and Sebastian Stan. See, there's a few actors I've recognized now, but I cannot picture yet a project in which they're all together.
It's a tricky one. I've definitely picked a tricky one, I think.
Yeah, Winona Ryder, Hirsch, Sebastian Stan. No, I'm going to need another one.
This is the third actor. Vincent Castle.
Vincent Cassell is...
No, Castle.
Black Swan?
Black Swan is correct.
Is Sebastian Stan in Black Swan? I don't remember him in that at all.
Yeah, but it might help to know that he plays Andrew.
Oh, yes, that Sebastian Stan type. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that one's tricky because there's like a
Yeah.
whole lot of
Yeah.
characters that are just nothing to
Yeah.
the whole story.
I'm sure Sebastian Stan is like an ex-boyfriend of one of the characters that appears for a scene.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like that, yeah. Okay. Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler, 8th cast member. Mm-hmm. Oh, Amy Poehler, Mean Girls.
Mean Girls, you got it. Oh my god. Oh, that's so good, Gambo. Holy crap. I didn't even realize Amy Poehler was in Mean Girls.
She's the cool mum.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Really? That movie was like ages ago, and I feel like anyway.
Written by Tina Fey, who's like her best friend.
Oh, yes.
They were
She
both
was
on
third on the casting list.
They were both on Saturday Night Live at the same time.
Oh,
In fact, that movie had a lot of Saturday Night Live cast members in it.
Bill Hader. Probably. I don't know.
Tim Meadows is Tim Meadows on that cast list?
Look, Tim Meadows. He is.
Yeah.
Yes, but he was further down. He was 10th.
He's the principal. Yeah.
He's the principal. Yes. Okay. There's three more.
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes Hall.
Okay, I'll need another one.
John Capellos.
Another one.
Or Capellos. Paul Gleason.
Paul Gleason. No, another one.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Okay, there's my first recognition. Anthony Michael Hall. Doesn't help. He was big in the 80s, but that doesn't mean this is an 80s movie.
I think you'll get it from this one. Emilio Estevez.
Emilio Estevez, and is this... See, I'm thinking of the movie Young Guns, but I don't know if that's it.
Incorrect. Ali Sheedy.
Oh, Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. Okay, two more. Okay, this one,
Of course,
I
it's
chose,
the Breakfast Club. Anthony Mike. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Yep. Anthony Michael Hall.
Obviously, Camber. Okay, this one I chose because I was surprised that I've never heard of it. Maybe it's more popular, I think, or it has some pretty average scores on IMDb and such. But anyway, Alison Chand.
Okay, I'll need another.
Lindsay Taylor McKay.
Okay. No, still nothing.
Paul Brannigan.
Okay. Is this like Sharknado or something?
No. I haven't heard of it.
Okay.
And I've heard of Sharknado. Okay. Joe Zuela.
Yeah, no, I have no idea.
Marius Binku.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Doogie McConnell. Dougie? Doogie? Dougie?
I have no... What is this movie? I have no idea.
Adam Pearson.
Do you suspect I've heard of this movie?
Only because you know so many films.
Okay.
Ready? You want the number one actor?
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. It's
Is
Scarlett Johansson with 7 other people that you've never heard of before.
Okay, so I think it might be Under the Skin.
It is Under the Skin.
It's a really, really low budget horror movie with Scarlett Johansson. Nelson, let me just say this. I won't say too much. You would like that film. Do you understand?
Oh.
Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Okay. Oh, I understand what I'm saying. I'll catch you when you throw it.
Yeah, so yes. Everyone else being kind of an unrecognizable actor actually makes sense.
Yeah. I was just so surprised because I saw that. It was in 2013. I imagine at that time she was doing pretty well for herself.
Yes, yeah.
And just this film that I'd never heard of that she was in.
Very, very divisive film. It's like a real film fucks film, you know, like someone that's like, I love cinema so much. I love the films of Ari Aster. I love Under the Skin.
Yeah. He got 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. It's actually 84% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I bet you if you click on that, I bet you it's got a really high critic score and a really low audience score.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, yeah, 84 to 55.
Yeah. It's one of those films.
Yeah.
You know the ones. Yeah,
exactly.
But Nelson, again, I'll say you would like that film.
Oh,
okay.
All right. Does she talk very closely into a microphone, because that's definitely...
No. But you'd like it for other reasons.
Yeah, okay. Is there trampolines, Scambo?
That's what it is. There's trampolines.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Last one, Cammy. Last one.
Okay.
Ted Sutton.
Okay, next person.
Oh, okay. Patricia Kalimba.
Okay. Next person.
Cherry Jones.
Sherry Jones. I love Cherry Jones. Signs.
Sherry. It is Signs.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed, Cambo, that even though there's very few actors in that film, you didn't get that from Ted Sutton.
Who does Ted Sutton play? Is he the Army General?
Cunningham.
Oh, yeah. I know who he is. He's the Army General that tries to sign Meryl up to the Army early on. But then obviously Meryl runs into Lionel Pritchett at this thing. He's like, if Lionel Pritchett's signing up, I don't know if I want to sign up. You see what I'm saying? Who does the other girl play? Is that Mel Gibson's wife? Something Hess? Yes, I got it. It's Mel Gibson's wife. Yeah, Sherry Jones is the police officer that comes and inspects the crop signs.
I didn't realize that Joaquin Phoenix was in this.
Yeah, he's like one of the main characters. I think he's on the poster.
Yeah. But to me, it's just Mel Gibson.
Yeah, no,
I don't remember anybody else.
You've got Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix. You've got Rory Culkin. You've got Abigail Breslin. Mm-hmm. You've got M. Night Shyamalan himself as Ray Reddy.
Yeah, it's Ray Reddy.
Yeah.
He's actually listed as the first actor before Mel Gibson. I think that's funny.
Yeah, I think M. Night had something to do with that.
Yeah. He spoke to Google and he's like, hey, look, just put me first. Come on, it was my film. All right. That did go on for a long time, but hopefully some of our listeners could keep up with Cambo. At least
I want to know
some of them.
Please write in if anyone got Grand Budapest Hotel quicker than me.
Yeah. Or did you get Under the Skin? Well,
yeah, that's true. But
you struggled with the most, perhaps. All right. Well,
that's the show.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Probably the show.
Yeah, we should wrap it up. Actually, we've been running for quite a while.
Yeah. But thanks for writing into us, the people that did write into us. We promise we'll get to your emails eventually. You can write into us, Reddit Podcast, READIT Podcast, gmail.com. You can also reach us at Facebook, not Twitter, and our subreddit. They're all READIT Podcasts.
Oh, one quick thing. Happy Easter.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Easter. Yeah, we didn't forget.
Do you want a really quick, fun anecdote?
Do I?
About Easter related. I had somebody at my work who isn't fantastic at their job and was trying to give me some advice, kind of like social advice. But they were also trying to be like real cool, like, yeah, I'm one of the cool kids, and I edge the line all the time. And they said, like one time there was an Easter catch-up in the break room, before Easter, and I sent out an email that I got in trouble for because I said, bring your loincloth and bring your nails. And I was like, I'm an atheist, and even I find that incredibly offensive. And they were like, can't believe I got in trouble for that. Am I right? And I was like, no, that's incredibly insensitive. You idiot. Anyway,
Happy
that's my
Easter.
Easter story. Happy Easter. And we'll read you later.